Hi everyone, and this is a 2D side-scroller shooter game, ThunderSpace. Our player acts as a spaceship fight with other ships in the space. So let me run the game. As you can see, here is the main menu, and our player is a space fighter on the left side, and enemies are on the right side. I did some animation on the button. As you can see, when we hover on button or select the button, it will have a zooming animation, and if I click the button, the background color will change and the game will start. And as you can see, the background is scrolling, and the player can move in the screen but cannot go out of the screen. I use a background scroller script to control this, and a ground with shader as a rolling background. The player can use arrow key or WASD to move the spaceship. And you can see the spaceship has an accelerated process, with rotation and the speed is increasing gradually. I use the coroutine to implement this function and make the movement more real and smooth. Enemies spawn randomly from the right side of the screen, randomly. I use an enemy manager script to control this function. Enemies are restricted to move in the right half of the screen and cannot go to the left side. As a survival mode game, in which the player should try to live longer. Oh, not that. Let me start another game set. And it is a survival game in which player try to live longer and get as more score as they can. Player will get score when they destroy enemy ships. Score will display on the right top of the screen. As you can see, the score has an increasing process. I use the coroutine to implement this score manager script. And the enemy come with waves, and they would be a wave number animation. And I clear one waves. Yeah, there will be a wave animation in the center of the screen, which indicates the current wave number, and the amount of enemy will increase by more waves. This is also controlled by enemy manager. And after clear one wave, there will be a next wave with more random amount of enemies. For the enemies, there are 3 types of enemies, and they shoot different kind of bullets. As you can see, oh, I died again. So this is quite a difficult game. And you can see 3 different types of enemies shoot 3 different kinds of bullets. This one has a straight one, also this card random spaceships. And you can see this is a straight one, and you can see the 3 directions one, and the special one is the long one. It can track the position of the player. And as we can see, when the game is running, there are so many projectiles in the screen at the same time. This means the game program generates a lot of projectile objects, bullet objects in the same time. And if I use original garbage collection function without cleaning the objects manually, it would be a huge cost of the system. So for this, I implement a pool system. So in this pool system, there are queues have size, and when the object's number, you can see the queues here, and the object number is bigger is larger than the size, and the object will be DQ, and if the object amount is lower than the size, the object will be INQ. And if the object be DQ, it will release the space automatically. So we resume the game. And another thing I have to show you is the health bar. You can see on the top left of the screen, the player's health bar is indicated there, and when it goes to 0, the game is over and the health will reduce when the player takes damage. And another thing is the player's health bar will drop to 0 immediately when they crash. Yeah, game over. Let me start another game. Yeah. And also add a buffer to health bar, which implemented by coroutine, and it can drop slowly. You can see in the health bar, and with a buffer time. Also, the player will wait for several seconds. The player's health bar can increase 2% every 6 seconds, which makes more chance for the player to live longer in this game. And another thing I have to show is the pause menu. When I press tab, it will goes into a pause menu in which the player can resume the game or go back to the main menu. When I press resume, the game will resume, and if I press the end menu, the game will break and lose all current records, and the only thing you can do is start a new game. So when the player dies, I added an animation to show. You can use the save turn several times in this process, and in this animation, when I press any key, the player will go back to the main menu. So yeah, this is a game cycle for this game, and I will add more function later, like the pickups, which can give players scores on more powerful weapons. Also the options menu to edit the BGM or game difficulty, and I may add a boss fight too. And so that's all for my project in this time. Thank you for watching.